Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we have some absolutely huge NFL news that has been stirring up a lot of conversations across the league and especially among Dallas Cowboys fans. It's the story of one of the most dynamic and skilled wide receivers in recent NFL history, Cooper Kupp. For those of you who've been living under a rock, Cooper Kupp, after a spectacular career with the Los Angeles Rams, has officially left the franchise that drafted him and called him a legend. This move is seismic because Kupp has been not just a star but a true game-changer, a Super Bowl MVP, and arguably one of the most precise route runners we've ever seen in the league. But with the Rams deciding to part ways, the question everyone's asking is, where does Cooper Kupp go next? And more importantly, could he be the new secret weapon in the Dallas Cowboys offense? Well, buckle up, because today we're diving deep into that storyline, unpacking what this means for both teams, and exploring how Kupp might fit in the Cowboys' game plan if the rumors turn into reality. Let's start by reflecting on who Cooper Kupp really is. This isn't just some random wide receiver hitting free agency, this is a player whose name will be etched in NFL history. Drafted in the third round of the 2017 NFL Draft out of Eastern Washington, Kupp quickly proved that he was no ordinary pick. He showed a rare blend of toughness, precision, and football IQ. Over the years, Kupp has become the definition of a route-running maestro. His ability to create separation, read defenses, and consistently make clutch catches elevated the Rams' passing game to elite levels. Of course, his 2021 season was nothing short of historic. He won the receiving triple crown, leading the league in receptions, receiving yards, and receiving touchdowns, and capped it off by earning Super Bowl MVP honors, delivering a performance for the ages in one of the biggest games in sports. This cemented his status as a franchise icon in Los Angeles and made him a household name across the football world. However, despite all that success, the last couple of seasons have been a mixed bag for Kupp, largely due to injuries. The physical toll of the NFL caught up with him, and his availability became a concern. The 2024 season saw him play only 12 games, and while his stats 67 receptions, 710 yards, and 6 touchdowns still showed he could produce, it was clear he wasn't the same durable beast he was at his peak. The Rams' offense also began evolving, with fresh faces like Puka Nacua emerging and the high-profile addition of Davante Adams changing the dynamics. The salary cap pressures and the Rams' rebuilding phase made keeping a high-priced veteran like Kupp more complicated, even though he was still very much respected within the organization and by fans. Fast forward to early 2025, and the news broke that the Rams intended to trade Kupp. This caught many off guard, given his status and contributions. Kupp himself was reportedly surprised and unhappy with the decision, making it clear he wanted to stay and continue contributing to the Rams' success. But the business side of the NFL is ruthless, and after weeks of seeking trade partners, the Rams made the tough call to release him instead. This cleared the way for Kupp to hit the open market for the first time in his career and set off a frenzy of speculation about where he might land next. Immediately, names of teams that might be interested started flying around, and among those teams was the Dallas Cowboys, a franchise with a storied history and one of the league's most passionate fanbases. Dallas has been on a mission to revitalize their offense, and adding a receiver of Kupp's caliber would certainly make headlines. Imagine pairing Kupp's savvy, route running, and clutch playmaking with Dak Prescott's strong arm and CeeDee Lamb's explosive athleticism. It could be a nightmare for opposing defenses. For a Cowboys offense that has been searching for that next-level weapon to complement their existing stars, Kupp seems like a perfect fit on paper. But as with any big signing in the NFL, it's never that simple. There are compelling reasons why Dallas would want to pursue Kupp. First and foremost, his veteran presence and football IQ would bring a much-needed layer of reliability and savvy to the Cowboys' passing game. Kupp is not just about speed or athleticism, though he has that too, but about the cerebral aspects of the game. He knows how to read coverages, adjust routes on the fly, and find soft spots in the defense, all of which can open up the field for other receivers and for Dak Prescott to exploit. That kind of experience is invaluable, especially in tight games or playoff scenarios. Furthermore, Kupp doesn't necessarily need to be the no one target. He's shown a willingness to take a complementary role if the system suits him. This means he could slot in nicely as a WR2 or even a slot receiver in Dallas, creating mismatches and freeing up space for the likes of CeeDee Lamb and others to stretch the field vertically. On the flip side, there are challenges that cannot be ignored. Kupp's injury history is the elephant in the room. He's been banged up recently, and with NFL careers being so fragile, the Cowboys would have to carefully evaluate whether he can stay healthy enough to contribute consistently. Age is also a factor. He's approaching his 30s, and wide receivers often face decline around this stage in their careers, especially those who rely heavily on sharp cuts and quick bursts like Kupp does. Then there's the financial side of things. Kupp's contract demands are significant. The Rams were carrying a hefty salary cap number with him, and for Dallas, balancing that cost with their other roster needs offensive line, defense, and emerging young talent would be a complicated juggling act. Adding a big contract for Kupp could force Dallas to make tough decisions elsewhere. Additionally, chemistry and offensive scheme fit have to be considered. Dallas already has established relationships between Dak and his current receivers, particularly CeeDee Lamb, who has blossomed into a true star. Introducing Kupp means altering the target distribution and play calling to fit him in. Would Kupp get the targets he needs to be effective, or would he have to accept a lesser role? And how would that affect the development of younger receivers who are hungry for snaps and opportunities? These are questions Dallas coaching staff and front office would have to weigh carefully. Interestingly, despite the fan excitement and some reports linking Dallas to Kupp, there have been reliable sources indicating that the Cowboys are actually not in the mix for signing him. Whether that means the front office never seriously pursued him, or they evaluated and decided against a deal, is still up for debate. But it serves as a reminder that sometimes the rumor mill spins far faster than the reality behind closed doors in team war rooms. Meanwhile, the Rams, by releasing Kupp, are signaling a new direction. They are focusing on youth, cap flexibility, and perhaps a different offensive identity. The emergence of young receivers like Puka Nacua and the presence of Davante Adams means the Rams believe they can still compete without Kupp, even if it's a tough emotional and competitive loss. For Kupp himself, it marks the start of a new chapter. He's publicly expressed motivation to prove he can still perform at an elite level. His path forward is uncertain but full of opportunity. Finding the right fit, staying healthy, and contributing meaningfully will be his key goals. As the dust settled, the final twist in this story is that Cooper Kupp ultimately signed a 3-year, $45 million contract with the Seattle Seahawks, returning to his home state. This development officially ends the speculation about Dallas and other teams swooping in. The Seahawks, a franchise known for valuing savvy, experienced wideouts, seem like a perfect landing spot for Kupp, who can bring leadership and production to their offense. This move also suggests that despite rumors, Dallas was not the right fit for Kupp at this moment, either financially, schematically, or strategically. So, what does this mean for the Dallas Cowboys? Well, while they didn't land Cooper Kupp, the Cowboys remain a talented, hungry team with a core of young stars. They'll likely continue to build around Dak Prescott, CeeDee Lamb, and the emerging talent in their wide receiver room. The front office's decision to pass on Kupp might reflect a longer-term vision focused on cap flexibility and developing homegrown talent. It's a calculated risk, and only time will tell whether Dallas missed out on a key piece or made the right call. For Cowboys fans watching all this unfold, it's a roller coaster of hope, speculation, and reality. The Kupp saga reminds us how fluid and complex NFL roster building really is. It's not just about adding big names, it's about fit, finances, health, and long-term planning. The NFL is a brutal league where even legends must adapt or move on. To wrap up, Cooper Kupp leaving the Rams is one of those watershed moments that shakes up the league and sparks endless what-if debates. While he won't be donning the Cowboys star, his journey from a small school prospect to NFL superstar, his impact on the Rams, and his next chapter in Seattle will be fascinating to follow. As for Dallas, the door may be closed on Kupp for now, but the search for offensive weapons continues, and the story of their 2025 season is just beginning. Alright, Cowboys fans, I want to hear your thoughts. Would you have welcomed Cooper Kupp to Dallas? Do you think he would have elevated the offense or been a risky investment? How do you see the Cowboys' receiving core shaping up without him? Drop your opinions in the comments below. I love hearing all sides of the discussion. If you enjoyed this deep dive, be sure to hit that like button, subscribe, and ring the notification bell so you don't miss any of my upcoming NFL content and analysis. Thanks for watching, and as always, let's go Cowboys!